Welcome to my channel, Temperance Knowledge. I have been wanting to start this channel for 6 years now, and I have actually posted videos on here before, but I ended up taking them down because I would go through changes in my life, and it would change the idea that I had for the channel. The goal remained the same all throughout, but the way I wanted to approach it changed a lot. So I also had like this idea in my head that everything had to be perfect, and I had like a list of requirements that I needed to start the channel. And I just want to say that right now I have none of those requirements, but I feel like it's important for me to just finish this, and by finishing it is by starting it. Um, it's important for me to follow through with it. It's important for me and just my life. This is something I have thought about every single day, and I have just been procrastinating for 6 years and not doing it because I wanted it to be perfect. Um, but yeah, so the main reason why I wanted to start this channel was to educate people about mental health. And I wanted to do that because I have struggled with depression, anxiety, and panic attacks in my life. I am not going through them at the moment. I'm going through one of those things in the moment, but not I have dealt with them in the past, and I have been dealing with that since I was a teenager. And it was very lonely for me to deal with that because in the household that I was raised, my parents, they saw any mental health issues or anybody who went to therapy, they saw it as being weak. And um, it was really hard for me to try to ask for help or to just even have any issues, or to come to them with any issues, because when I did, like, if I told them like, hey, I'm feeling this way, or I feel this kind of way, like, their response was like, no, you're fine, you're okay. You don't get depressed, you're fine, you don't get anxiety, this is just in your head, you're okay. And that's all it would get. Like, I wasn't really able to even explain what I was feeling or anything else. It was just, you're fine, you're okay. If you go to a therapist, you are weak. Why can't you handle your issues on your own? And because of this thinking, I feel like the issues that I developed over the years, I feel like they just kind of snowballed into bigger issues than they had to be. And that's one of the reasons why I want to start this channel. I just feel like I felt so lonely, and I felt so isolated, alienated, and I felt like I was the only person going through that. Obviously, that is not true. Which is the second reason, is like, my purpose in the beginning was to just build a community, um, through a channel where people could talk about the stuff that they're going through, and not be judged, because I have realized that nobody really cares about mental health unless you're going through it in the moment. And I am guilty of that. And I think it's because it's not that we don't care or we don't care anymore. It's just that it's such an awful thing to go through. And once you're out of it, like, you kind of just want to move on from that, just leave it alone. But it sucks. Like, it sucks because some of us, like, go through that more than once. It's not like, oh, we're just depressed one time, we have anxiety one time, and then, like, we're good forever. No, it's not. And I have also dealt with, like, people that I've dated having mental health issues, and it is very hard to deal with. So I just wanted a space where we could either just pop in every once in a while when we need it and just share the tips that helped us. Because I don't know, since I wanted to start this channel, I have just analyzed myself and my behavior and my depression, my anxiety, the symptoms that I get, like the warning signs of it, when I feel my mood changing, when I feel myself changing, when I feel it triggered. I have gotten to know myself really, really well, and I can tell. I can tell when it's happening, or I can tell when I'm about to have anxiety or a panic attack or anything like it. And it has helped me find ways to cope with it, or find ways to kind of prevent it, and kind of, either, even if I can't prevent it, like, to just deal with it better, or just find better ways to deal with it in the moment while I'm going through it. Also, when I was going through these episodes of either depression or anxiety, like extreme anxiety, one of the things that helped me was talking to strangers online. I would get on, there's an app called Whisper. I'm not sure if it's still around because I don't see it anymore. It sucked now. Like, whenever the last time I was that I used it, last year, 2 years ago, it sucked. There was ads and it's just awful. But I would just go there and just vent to people. Honestly, it was just nice talking or finding people who understood it and have gone through it. And it's just like, oh my god, I'm not the only one going through this. And I know it's obvious that we all deal with something sometimes. But I was very isolated. I was just very lonely, and I did not really understand that. And I know it's hard to believe, but it's just how I felt. Like I didn't talk about these issues, and people around me didn't talk about these issues. Um, so I really did feel for, like, when I was going through it, I'm like, damn, like I feel alone. And finding that relief in strangers, because one, I did not have to talk to them anymore. I didn't have to interact with them for real. It just, yeah, it is like kind of trauma dumping, but um, it was good. It felt good. It felt good to just let it out. And I wanted to build that, or build a place for that, because I see it as like, yeah, we all deal with mental health issues. Not everybody, obviously, but the people that do, like, when we deal with that, it just reminds me of, like, I don't know. It's like we all have the same symptoms. We may have gotten it differently, gone through different things in life, but we all end up with the same symptoms, from depression, from anxiety, from panic attacks, from anything that you go through. I'm sure there's somebody out there who has gone through it, lived through it, and can give some advice, a little bit of advice, and it would just help. And it helps, like, the younger kids, the younger people who are gonna go through this at some point. But yeah, this leads me to the first drafts of this channel. My first draft, or my first idea, was to educate people and on mental health topics, like just on that. And I realized I didn't really want to do that because I wasn't qualified for it. It didn't feel right for me to spew out stuff that I am not either licensed to talk about, the way I was trying to, in a more professional way. And I feel like there's channels out there who do a way more, like, wonderful, amazing job at doing that. Like, that is already a thing. So I didn't really feel like that was my thing anymore. I still wanted to talk about mental health, and I still wanted to bring that to people, but I was struggling to find a way on how it would be comfortable and not, and like, pressure on me, and still be able to just offer any kind of help and whatnot. But yeah, so I went through these, like, moments, the past 6 years with the channel. And honestly, like, I have the changes that I've gone through have, like, made me a little bit cynical. The way I had started this channel, the way I was in the middle, the way I am now is not the same person. So right now, where I'm at is, I just want to tell my story. I just want to tell my life story, where I have been, what I have gone through, what others have done to me, what I've done to others, and my mental health. Like, my story with mental health and how I've dealt with it, and the stuff that has helped me. And I think that is the best thing I can do. The best, like, I can do. Not that the best thing I can do for people, but that's the best thing I can do. Like, I realize I'm not qualified to speak on topics more, or more serious topics, and that's fine. But I at least want to share my story. And another, like, more personal reason, and probably the main reason, is I just want to tell my story. Growing up, I did not feel like I had a voice. I did not feel like I had a choice to speak up for myself. I did not feel like, I just didn't feel like I wanted to. Like, I don't know, I just didn't, okay? um, and it led to just me being a people pleaser, me being used by people, and I just got tired of it. I didn't feel like I was ever heard by my parents, because they were just different. um, and I just want to share that, and I hope somebody feels comfort in knowing that they're not the only ones feeling the way they do. And I hope I don't know, I just hope it finds comfort in somebody. But most importantly, I just want to tell my story. I don't even know if anybody will listen to this, but I hope so. um, yeah, so I don't know, maybe should I stop it right here, or should I keep going and just start? Okay, so I guess I'll just keep going. So in 2018 is when I got this idea for, no, not 2018, no, yeah, the end of 2018 is when I started to brainstorm this channel. Um, the reason why I even started this is because 2018 was like the worst year of my life. It's the worst and best year of my life. Oh yes, I forgot. So the second part of this channel is just gonna be me working on my art and improving my art. Um, I love drawing. I think it's one of the best ways to get to know yourself, and I think I'm gonna get into that soon. But that brings me to the next part of the channel will be my art. It's not gonna be professional art, as you can see. It's just gonna be my normal art, my kid art, my inner child art. It's just for fun. Um, I enjoy it. It's one of the things that help me with my anxiety and my depression. It's just something to keep your mind occupied, and I've realized that if I either have a mental issue, an emotional issue, the best way to let it out is obviously something like physical. And if I have a physical issue, the best way to get it out is mentally or emotionally or, verbally. But I didn't want to say that. These are my things, my drawings, and um, I was discouraged a long time ago by the boyfriend that I had in 2018, and it just discouraged me, and I just stopped drawing. So once I started to kind of analyze myself and think of ways that could improve my anxiety or how I dealt with it or depression and getting to know myself, and what I needed, I started drawing again, but it's just more like doodling to me. And I love it. And I hope you stay with me in my journey on improving my art as well. Thank you. One last thing, I also do want to say, like, the purpose of this channel is to tell my story so I could feel some kind of relief and peace from that. But, because I felt like little me never had that opportunity. But I do want to say, like, I don't want to feel like I'm victimizing myself or I'm trying to just get pity from people, because that's not my goal. It's more like I want to share these experiences to see if they can help or comfort somebody or just make them feel less lonely, or less isolated, or just know that we all deal with that and it's okay. Some things are petty, some things are small, some things are bigger. It's okay.